catching the structure handbook is to catch the modifications in the structure handbook that happens with passive voice, because passive voice can exist in all the structures that exist in the handbook, which means first I need to dominate the handbook, and then I need to know the possible changes and the possible alternatives that I have when I speak. And passive voice is an alternative. Delegating tasks, since it's an alternative. Hiring somebody is an alternative. These chunks that I taught you the last month, those are very, very common alternatives when American people speak. So this is the secret, precisely. It's a difficult task, of course, because again, we need to dominate verbs in past. We need to know when it's necessary to use a verb in past and when it's not necessary. We need to know when it's necessary to use a simple verb, a verb in past participle, connector to, when it's necessary to put it, when you need to omit it, etc. So I understand there's a lot of challenges in the structures. That's something, and that's the reason I'm checking your conversation a lot, because the more you speak, I can help you with corrections. The corrections that I am sending to you on WhatsApp are oriented to using these type of structures. So right now, it's going to be a very similar recommendation as the one I was giving Elsie. Some part of your life should be changed to English. Anything, whichever. And we need to fit the extra 20 minutes of the app in your daily life. We need to change your life in past. Now, I'm really interested in checking Michelle's reaction to the exam, because and what kind of tips you can give, because I saw the score. That was a pretty good score, and I really want to know how you managed to learn new vocabulary and what parts of your life you have changed into English.
Hello, teacher.
Hi,
Hello,
lady.
everyone.
Okay.
I guess I watched a lot of shows, and
Okay.
yes, I watch I don't remember the name. Cake Boss, for example, all the shows on Discovery Home and Health.
You watched it in English?
I am fan. Yes, yes. I watched it. Watched it.
Watch them.
In Spanish. Watch them. Sorry.
Interesting.
Yes.
Okay.
Watch them in Spanish. Then I started to watch them in English.
The same episodes.
Sorry, what? I guess the communication.
Yeah, there was a connection problem. So you're talking about the same episodes? You watched the same episodes in Spanish and in English?
Many of them, and I saw a new one. Can you hear me?
Yes, now I can hear you. I can hear you now.
Okay. Okay. I watched some new ones. Not all the chapter, because
Episode.
the
eliminate chapter.
Oh, okay. All the episodes.
Okay.
But fragments in YouTube.
Okay. Oh,
and,
yes, they are so effective.
Yes. Yes, and I learned that from you. So.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yes, yes. Thank you, teacher. That really helped me, and I try to listen in the car. Some episodes from one podcast, horror podcast,
Yeah.
and I try to listen. I don't understand very well because they talk a little fast.
Quickly.
But
Exactly.
I try to catch some sentences that helps me to understand the history.
Eliminate two. That
The
helps me
story.
understand.
Sorry. That helps me to understand the story.
Eliminate two. The connector two is extra.
The story. Sorry.
Understand.
Yes.
That helps me understand the story.
Yes. And
That's
I try
really
to
nice. Wow.
see my favorite series too, like just
Yes.
like that. I like so much
Okay.
everything of that, so that helps me to understand better the language and
a natural way of speaking, not like a grammatical didactic way, but more like a natural way of speaking. Okay, correct.
Yes, but now I saw that on Elsa that my pronunciation is not very it's not very well.
It's humbling, right?
Yes.
Let me help you with this new adjective. I learned this adjective on the I learned this in gym videos because I am going to the gym a lot, and they are giving me they are giving you a humble. In these gym videos, you can see, for example, that you can be super strong, no? In one specific exercise. Let's imagine, I don't know, biceps, no? Like you can see be very, very strong in biceps. But when you do these are called what's the name of this? Laterals. When you do laterals, it's very interesting. That is a different movement, is a different muscle. For this movement, you need a small, very small muscle. It's a very small muscle that is in the back. But for this movement, it's the muscle is very big, you know? So the point is, for this muscle, you can get a very high weight, let's say 14 kilos, 15 kilos. But for this exercise, 3 kilos is a lot. 3 mini kilos, you know? It's so small, but you are suffering, you know, in the 6 or 7 repetitions, you're like, oh my God, I cannot do this. This is a humbling exercise, because humble is a person who makes you feel that you are not good as you expected, or you are not as good as you expected. Because you see like, this is 14 kilos, I can continue 14 kilos the other exercise, and boom, surprise. You cannot, you know, and you shouldn't. Actually, it's very bad for the back. That's to humble a person.
Okay.
So I think Elsa speak is humbling AF. It's super humbling.
So humbling.
Super.
Yes.
Even for me.
Yes, I try to make a good sound, but I guess I didn't make it. I have to do the same exercise, like, I don't know.
7 times.
Yes, almost 3 times to continue the exercise, and I was feeling frustrated because I tried to imitate the sound, but I don't know what happened. But it's very interesting because the tip that gives you on top.
Yeah.
And when you listen you can listen the sound of the pronunciation. So it helps you so much, but like all is practice. And
Yes.
I guess my 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 breakpoint
My breaking point.
breaking point it's speaking, because
Yes.
I read very well. I understand a lot, and I understand the listening very well. But when I try to speak,
Yes.
the words it, oh, I don't know.
Yes.
I think they're stuck in my mouth, and I'm very nervous. So I try to thinking in the structure, but the correct word, but the
Exactly.
adjective, but the adverb, but it's too much. And
Well,
well,
that's,
I
I think everybody can feel related to that problem. Everybody, we all have that specific issue when we are trying to speak. As a Spanish speaker or speaker of English as a second language, the most difficult part is speaking. And that's the interesting part. We cannot improve our speaking if we are not aware of the grammar. But I cannot teach you grammar if you don't have vocabulary. So there is a very difficult cycle, especially in this level, that depends on vocabulary directed to grammar and grammar directed to speaking. So this is a very vicious cycle that can be broken if you expose yourself to the culture, not really to a dictionary or a list of words or didactical ways. No. What you need is to reach cultural engagement. And I think watching TLC and listening to podcasts is a very good way to do it, which takes me to the next question. We all are very busy people, okay? In the fact that you are finding spaces to listen to American people talking means that you are doing something different. How do you find the time to watch these type of videos? In what moment do you watch these type of videos? Because it's very difficult for everybody.
Yes, I try to do well. I guess I don't know. Maybe I have listened the episodes. I don't know. Maybe since we start the classes, because I didn't know the channel of TLC on YouTube.
Oh, come on. Wow. So
I didn't know. When you told me that, I started to listen just for fun.
And just for fun, exactly.
Yes,
I'm going to give you another word. You started binging the videos. To binge something, and this is very common in today's modern life. If you have Netflix, if you have this type of things, to binge something is to, well, in this context, so yeah, exactly. The principal context is to eat or to drink too much, especially when you are not able to control yourself. Like I binge cookies. I don't buy cookies because I will binge. Consuming television is, especially in today's, when you have all the episodes, that's also binging.
Okay. Yes.
And we're watching a whole channel, the content of one channel on YouTube. That's also the
Yes. Well, I think the old episodes from TLC and Discovery Human Health because I liked it so much, and I guess I maybe I don't work on weekends, so it helps me to distract me to watching videos.
That's so cool. Not working. Yes, the days that
Yeah.
you're not working, you are having fun, but in English.
Yes,
That's so
yes,
effective.
and I like the movies too. So when I go to the cinemas,
Mhm.
I try to look for the English version, but not always. It's on the I don't know how to say cartelera.
The,
On the
the current
um
currently showing,
okay,
currently showing, or
on the
currently streaming.
currently shown. Okay, currently streaming.
Mhm,
So but when I pass time in home,
mhm.
I try to watch the movies in English, and I guess it's um I don't know. Did I uh I yes, I did it because I like I like the language so much,
Mhm.
and
Yes,
when I was younger, all the movies that I saw was in
very
English.
English.
I like the uh, I don't know origin language because
Mhm,
when I watch anime, I
mhm.
watch it on Japanese.
The original one.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So when I watch movies, I try to listen on the original language.
Of course. Mhm. And
Yes.
that's a personal like. That's something that is very, very personal. Well, that
Mm-hmm,
part definitely we cannot copy. I have also
mm-hmm.
tried that, and yes, that's something that we cannot copy because that's a personal view and a personal
Yes.
choice. But the other ones of like when you are having fun and watching content that provides some sort of recognition of the class. That's exactly what I want to. The reason I asked you about this is because I want to implement the same kind of strategies with Elsie and with Carla. You know, in the case of
Mm-hmm.
Elsie and Carla, I probably and I think that the only time that you are consuming English, apart from probably watching Netflix when you relax or watching a movie, which is eventual, is only the class, right? So is that true? Am I assuming correct in the case of Elsie, for example?
This month it was the way that you said, but before I watch watched videos of BBC Learning English, but my
Oh, cool.
love of work
Mhm.
increased so much. So
Moving more
now
apart.
I'm trying to do again this activity.
Okay. You know what? That was very interesting. So you're watching BBC Learning English. That's I know that channel on YouTube.
Mhm.
That's so true. Uh-huh. And you know what? Don't you consider it's boring?
Mm, no,
Do you like them?
Yes, I tried different channels and it was the best for me.
Oh, wow. That's interesting. Because not many people like it. In my case, I love them, you know? But when I recommend them, people are like, yes, you know? And it's like, dude, but it's so cool, you know?
Yes, because um they speak clearly
Exactly.
and teach you new words and phrases and uh, and you learn things that maybe you don't know.
Exactly. It's curious. You like curious facts and you
Yes.
like this type of curious information about different things. Okay.
Yes. It's only that August wasn't the best month for
No,
me.
I imagine. I imagine. Sometimes there are very, very difficult months where we remove some activities. I totally understand that. But definitely, if this was something that I didn't know about you, like what type of content you consume, whenever, for example, when I am washing dishes, cooking my meals, even swiping the floor, every single second, I am listening to some English. And I have a massive catalog of things, of content in English, so much that it's so difficult for me to have a friend, you know, because my friends, all of them consume words in Spanish. So they are like, hey, have you seen La Cotorrisa? And I'm like, yes, I know La Cotorrisa, but I haven't seen your content because I'm always listening to English content. Hey, have you seen there's a very popular topic, a very popular podcast in Spanish called Leyendas, I don't remember. Leyendas
Legendarias.
Legendarias. That's the number 2 on Spotify. It's La Cotorrisa and Leyendas Legendarias. Everybody listens to that in my generation, but I haven't heard it because all the information they speak in Leyendas Legendarias, I listen to it in the original language. And when they were talking about mysteries and when they were talking about what's the name of this, conspiracies and everything, all this information is in English. And it's the same. It's exactly the same information, but really in English. So when I am doing my laundry, when I am cleaning my house, when I am washing the dishes, making my meals, I am listening to English things. And it's so effective. I can see that, for example, these videos are 6 minutes long. And
Mhm. Sorry,
these
teacher.
6 minutes, yes, Mitch.
I I I I want to ask, everyone have Spotify? Because I heard podcast that also Brian recommended too, 6 minute English. That's from BBC Radio.
Oh,
And
really?
maybe, yes, they're talking about a few topics on 6 minutes
Can you tell me the name
and
again?
share fact. 6 minute English.
Okay. From BBC Radio is this one, right?
Yes, that one. So maybe you should hear it.
And when do you
Nancy
listen to
and
this?
you. Also, when I am in the car, because I my um
The commuting.
the commuting. Yes, the commuting is. It took me like maybe 2 or 2.5 hours. So I have plenty of time to listen this.
That's an excellent time for Elsa speaking Duolingo and podcast and
Yes,
videos and everything. That's an excellent
that
time.
that's the reason I get late sometimes.
No, yes. I
So
mean, 2 hours. 2 hours is too
yes,
much. Mhm.
but
Okay, Carlita is saying in the chat that TED Talks, but when do you listen to them? What is the perfect moment when you listen to TED Talks, Carlita? Do you sit down in front of the television or do you listen to it while you are doing it? Like, do you multitask or what do you do?
It depends, but in the majority cases, I am doing other thing and listen
That's
only.
good.
I try to catch some the context, sorry, of the
Yeah.
of this, because obviously there are some words that I didn't understand, no, but I try to do this, and in some moments when I have a time, I put attention or the focus is only in this video, but I like also because there are a lot of topics that you can learn also in this, no? It's not only for the English, it's also for the other recommendations or advices or like this, no?
That's super interesting. Now, let's be more specific. What are you doing while listening to TED Talks?
Normally I'm doing things at home, for example, doing my lunch or
Making.
wash make, sorry, or wash dishes, for example. And for example, I am not sure how to say in English, but when I organize my clothes also, I am
You fold.
am
When you fold your clothes.
full, yes, this is just yes,
Okay, that's exactly my question, because yeah, it's very different to watch a podcast while you're working, you know. There's no
I
no
know,
attention, but
no.
doing those type of activities is so good because you are literally all your attention, like all the activities are so systematic, like washing the dishes and
Mhm.
folding your clothes are systematic, and your body is disconnected from your brain.
Yes.
Literally your body is in autopilot, and your brain is focusing all its attention on the listening, and that's helping you understand the context. Something that you said very importantly is that I try to understand the global thing. Now, apart from today, the correction and the change that I want you to do is to start discriminating words that you don't understand. This phonetic, what phonetic I didn't understand, similar to the practices that we are doing in the class.
Okay.
Because the global thing, you have it. In this moment, you are ready. But the detail, there is a word in English. There is a saying that says the devil is in the details.
Okay.
It's a phrase, a very common phrase that says the details of a matter are its most problematic aspect.
Yes.
The devil of English is not in the global idea of the TED Talk. It's in
Yes.
the small words that I don't understand. And these specific words, when you start identifying these words that we saw, I remember I saw this in the class, and you match it with a different context, everything connects like magic. Okay, so that's something that I strongly recommend. Avoid the global idea and focus on the small details.
Okay.
If you have an opportunity and if you have the patience, something that you really like, repeat an episode. Don't watch 10 episodes of TED Talk. Completely understand one per week or one per day,
Okay.
you know, which is the second mistake that I want to correct.
Mhm.
You know, the first thing that we do is, okay, I'm going to practice English, so I'm going to watch Game of Thrones all the weekend, seasons 2 and 3. That's too much information, you know?
Yes.
See, that's a lot. Imagine in the class, we spend 1 hour for 2 lines. So relax the content and listen to one in repeat. Something that Mitch said that was very important, and it's something that I did when I started learning English, was repeating the same thing over and over. Do you remember the video, or did you watch the video that I sent you? The one of I learned Spanish by watching Spider-Man 50 times. Actually, did I send you this video? I remember I sent it to you.
No.
No,
I didn't
teacher.
send you this video. I am so sorry. You need to watch it. You need to watch this video. It's one of my, it's very recent. It's 2 months ago.
Much more difficult.
But this guy is like, dude, look at this guy.
Much more difficult than some other.
I'm going to show you only the section that he got in an interview with a Spanish English teacher, a Mexican English teacher that speaks English and Spanish, you know? So please watch this.
So yeah, there were definitely other influences on my Spanish, but this film makes up for the vast majority. Like, since the before conversation until now, I would say that this film makes up for at least 60% of my exposure to Spanish.
Y hablando con ustedes, bienvenidos todos.
This is Andrea la Mexicana from Dreaming Spanish. We spoke over Zoom a few days ago, and this was my first time speaking Spanish since I was in Mexico 2 months ago. Bear in mind that while it's very easy to make your language skills seem much better than they are by preparing things to say, editing down to just the best bits, or both, it's also easy to make your language seem much worse than it is by putting an unedited conversation right in the middle of a video like this one. Any conversation between two people over the internet would seem slow, clumsy, and inarticulate when compared with a scripted, edited video. For example, this is Andrea and I talking on a live stream 3 months ago. Para mí, hablo inglés, es mi idioma materna, es mi lengua materna, y hablo sueco, un nivel que es here's some of our recent conversation. ¿Sí? ¿Me escuchas?
Perfecto, sí.
Esta conversación es por demostrar, mostrar mi nivel de español en español después de ver una película 50 veces.
Oh. 50 veces, wow. Ok, ¿y estás grabando ahora?
Así.
Oh, hola.
Hola. ¿Sí? This conversation was not in the slightest bit prepared. There were even topics that I meant to bring up but completely forgot about because Andrea mainly wanted to know about my time in Mexico. Hay mucho trabajo que hacer y entonces ahora México, especialmente México, me sentió como
¿Un sueño?
un sueño, sí, gracias.
Sí.
Sí, sentió como un sueño pasado, no. Discussing Mexico was much more difficult than some other things are for me and doesn't really paint my Spanish in a good light, but that's okay, because the whole thing about the language acquisition process is that taking a short-term view of it, it appears not to work at all.
And then he explains more things. That conversation, he was not speaking Spanish at all before the experiment. And the experiment was watching this movie in English, of course, memorizing the movie in English, in the natural speech, in the original script, and then watch it dubbed with the Spanish actors 50 times. because he understood the movie in English, he could associate some words to this to the first language, and he has the ability now to have a conversation in Spanish. It's crazy. But he didn't watch the saga, the whole movies. He just watched one in repeat. That's the mistake that we are committing. We are absorbing so much information that we forget. And this video is one of the coolest experiments I have seen on YouTube. I really, really like this guy. I really respect this guy. And I started like doing the same with anime with my Japanese, because it's so interesting the way it's this guy is learning. What about you? Do you think it's boring to repeat? Because that's also a matter of personality. What do you think about his methodology? Actually, I showed this video to one of my students in the afternoon, I remember, and he said, nah, this guy has too much free time. Which I was like, oh yes, the only issue here is time. What kind of things could you repeat, or could you listen or repeat? For example, Elsie, what do you think about his method? In your case, is it applicable in any way?
I think so, because I noticed that when I watched the BBC videos, I
Yes.
felt that it was a lot of information.
Yes, 6 minutes is short, but it carries a lot of things.
And also, I try something that now I think that is wrong. That I look for a moment when I can write the words that I learn in the videos.
Nice.
And maybe that made me get lost. I don't know how to say. I download many videos,
Okay.
but because I didn't find the correct moment for me,
Uh-huh.
I only accumulate, and I lost the motivation.
Yes. Yes. And you know what? Me too. That's so true. This is the effect that I was telling you about the other day with TikTok. I was like, TikTok is a vortex of attention that there is a lot of very good information. And I started saving videos of very good information, but there was a negative impact on my emotions, because I was receiving a placebo effect on the information that I was receiving. The placebo was perfect. I have this video in my pocket, or I have this video in my saves. So I consider I learned this information. And really, I didn't learn it. I only saved it in my cell phone, but in my brain, really, it was not there. So accumulation of content is one of the biggest problems that happen in current recent times. There is so much content everywhere, and we have the illusion of possession because you have access to everything, and then your brain is not really processing everything because it's so much. And because I consider that this is for me and I have possession of all the movie catalog in my television, well, I don't need to watch them, because I have them there. It's so crazy. It's so psychologically crazy. So you mentioned something so important that I wanted to talk about. accumulation of content is negative for you. You have so much content, but you need to discriminate the ones that you think is important. What do you really, 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 really love? You know, and I can give you recommendations if you want, which is the final part that I want to touch. My recommendations that contents that of like speakers that I really like, or not even speakers, people like random people on the internet, you know, people that I admire or that makes me laugh. If the person gives me a smile or makes me laugh out loud, I continue watching them. One of my favorite guys, I'm going to start talking about YouTubers and people who help me like smile, you know. There is the first person that catches my brain is Scott Kramer, which is a very humbling guy talking about his childhood. And I think he's my age, and that's the reason I really connect with his opinions. So funny to watch him. There is another guy that is my age called
Many will end.
They called Penguinzo. American again. The way he gives opinions is so funny. Sometimes you catch some opinions and they are amazing. Like he is so creative with his words. On the other hand, I have another one which is very, very active and too much energy in the videos, which is something that catches my attention a lot, is David Dobrik, which are short videos, 7 minutes, 6 minutes, but it's really, really funny the way he speaks, the way he smiles. His friends are amazing. I want to be his friend. It's so cool. And on the other spectrum, the spectrum of information, the spectrum of documentaries, is number one, the channel where I extract your classes. Your classes are based on this channel, Vox. One of my favorite YouTube channels, and there is a Netflix show called Explained from Vox, which is, oh my God, I can watch this video over and over and over from Vox. I really admire the people in this place, in this it's like a media group of creators. In this spectrum of information, we have also, I can tell you about, I recommend everybody, something that everybody will like in this class, Elsie, Mitch, and Carla, Jubilee. These are my favorite right now. I cannot play a video because it's going to catch my attention in an instant. Look at this. All the channel is about social experiments.
I kind of need direct.
All the video is about social experiments. So look at this social experiment. It says, for example, this guy. This is a very interesting guy. Who is not a girl? This guy is famous because he speaks like a girl. He has a voice, a very tender voice, and he speaks like a girl. So everybody is trying to discover who is not the girl. If they discover who is not the girl, they get money. But if he passes the test and he passes as a woman, he wins the money for him. So it's a really good video. It's so funny. You need to watch it. And you listen to him speaking like a woman, and it's like, oh my God, so crazy. It's who is not a feminist over here? There are criminals in these videos, you know, like, do all killers think the same? This is a group of killers. They assassinate other people in the past. They went to jail, and after jail, they came to this place, get together, and they are giving opinions about like what a psychopath thinks, you know? It's crazy. These experiments are amazing. You need to watch them. Check it out. Jubilee is one of my favorites. And yes, I can watch this over and over and over and over. It's so well edited. Anyway, let's give a moment because Jesse's in the chat. Hello, yes. Sorry, I got very passionate in this moment.
Hello, Mr. Don't worry.
Thank you.
Good night, viewers. I will say attendance, please. Is here Elsie? Hi, Elsie.
Hello,
Good
Joyce.
night.
Good night.
Thank you. Denise, hi, Denise. Good night.
Hello, Jessie. Good night.
Thank you. And Mish. Hi, Mish. Good night.
Hello,
So-
Jessie. Good night.
Thank you. So, thank you, everyone. Have a good night and good rest. I think.
Yeah,
Likewise.
thank you very much.
See you. Good night.
There we go. Like, these are definitely a distraction, guys. This is like something that you will need to sit down and watch it like with popcorn and everything, you know. I was watching one of these videos in the morning, and then I was washing the dishes, and at a moment I needed to stop the video and watch it after because they get really interesting, really interesting. So yeah, these are my recommendations. Give me recommendations. Carla, do you have anything more apart from TED Talks?
No, really, teacher in YouTube. I follow some TikTokers. I don't know what to say.
Yes.
In TikTok, but also you comment us. It's a lot of content. Not
Yes.
necessarily we are learning something, but I also read the I don't know to say the you share me the Incredibles movie and fun
Oh,
things
yeah.
but this I start to read this before to watch the movie in
The
English.
movie.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
yes.
I was
But
telling Carla about all the scripts
in scripts, yes.
are public domain. Uh-huh. The Incredibles script PDF. Do you know what is public domain, guys? Or do you understand?
Yes.
I think so.
So all the movies scripts are public domain. You can actually Google any script of any movie and you can catch it for free. So what is interesting here is that I was telling Carla, what is your favorite movie? Search that movie's script and you will get a massive amount of vocabulary, structures, and complex sentences that you can analyze. So here was the situation that we saw in another class when we were talking about, I feel like the maid. It was Old Lady, Mr. Incredible. Here. Mr. Incredible. No matter how many times you save the world, it always manages to get back in jeopardy again. Sometimes I just wanted to stay safe for a little bit. Do you remember that scene that we saw in class?
Yes.
Well, that's the one. And this is public domain. You can actually search it, Google it, save it, watch it, read it. If you don't want to watch movies, you can like practice with a movie that you remember from the past and start analyzing the script. And it's so relaxing. I really like, and I get really entertained reading this. Super entertained. In the case of Elsie, do you have any other recommendation?
No, no, I don't think so.
Well, I gave you more content if you can save it. And you know what? Now that I remember, Carla said, okay, it's too much content on YouTube, on TikTok, sorry. Yes, but sometimes it's good because they're short videos. So sometimes when I want to learn something that was very important in a TikTok video, I leave it playing it. You know, I listen to one very important TikTok, but in loop, and I listen to it again, and I listen to it again, and I listen to it again. So only one video, and it's really effective. So search the videos that you like, put it on a special playlist, and rewatch the playlist in the future. And it's so nice too. I can give you more recommendations, but you know, it's very late already. So if you need anything, if you want more content or something interesting, let me know. Okay.